What if you could create a whole team of people who would help you create a weekly action plan to achieve bigger and better goals, to enter the week with enthusiasm and passion, knowing you were going to succeed? That's the power of a mastermind. Let's talk about how you can create your own. Hi, I'm Yvonne, host of Silver Sisters, a channel for women who plan to make the rest of their life the best of their life. I drop new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. I believe in the power of a mastermind so much that I actually wrote a book on the topic under a pen name. So here are 12 reasons you might want to join a mastermind group. Reason 1, idea and solution generation. You'll be given ideas you would never have found by yourself. It happens in every mastermind meeting, and it's magic to watch. We tend to set limits on ourselves that others simply don't see. They can imagine possibilities that weren't open to us before. Reason number 2, instant high-value feedback on your own ideas. When the group trusts one another, they're free to share their honest feedback. I once had a mastermind member who brought her logo, several logo choices, to the group and asked their opinion. She had a favorite and she told us what that was. And with love, we told her why that logo simply would not work. There were things she didn't see about it. She appreciated the feedback so much, and she did change her mind on which logo she selected. Reason number 3, help making timely decisions. Sometimes you just get stuck. Should you do A or B? Having a sounding board can keep you from having to flip a coin and instead make a more well thought out decision. And that may be both A and B, or it may even be C, a choice you'd never thought of. Reason number 4, knowledge expansion. Learning from other skills and experiences is one reason it's helpful to have people from different backgrounds in your mastermind. We all raise one another's knowledge level by combining our skills and experience. Reason number 5, accountability to your goals. A weekly check-in keeps you from getting sidelined, keeps your priorities at the forefront, and that helps keep your momentum moving forward. Reason number 6, access to a group of people who are always willing to help you. Sure, your friends and family are there for you, but they have their own lives to live. So do the members of the mastermind group. But for one golden hour each week, they are fully there for you, as you are for them. Reason number 7, collaboration and synergy. This is by far one of the most magical aspects of a mastermind. The synergy and energy flow could power a small city when all members are laser focused on an issue. No wonder it's called a mastermind. Together, we are so much more than the sum of our parts. Reason number 8, new opportunities. These may come out of connections or collaboration. You extend your reach by a factor of 3, 4, 5, or 6, depending on the number of active participants in your group, not to mention all the people they know, and so on. Reason number 9, development of winning habits. The accountability, the weekly check-ins, the focus, the openness, and the sharing of ideas, the turn-taking, these are all habits that you can use throughout your week, not just for the golden hour. Reason number 10, positive energy. This is the teamwork aspect of a mastermind. Sure, we all have our own goals and projects, but supporting one another and receiving encouragement is the shot in the arm that can last through the week. Reason number 11, inspiration to think bigger. You may let yourself play small, but your mastermind group will always see things in you that you don't see in yourself. Expect to hear this a lot. Why not? Reason number 12, the ability to share challenges and wins. When I have a problem or a win, I cannot wait to bring it to the mastermind group. I know they'll help me work through the challenge and will be just as happy about my successes as I am. Because we lean on and support one another, my success is their success in a very real way. The same is true for the success of every member. Are you intrigued yet? Here's how to start your own mastermind. When I first learned about what a mastermind was by reading Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success, I was blown away. I wanted to have one of my very own, but I was nervous. I didn't know how to start one. I didn't know if anybody would join me, but I didn't let that stop me because I knew how powerful it could be. So I'm going to share with you the same process that I used, and I think that you'll find that it works for you as well. A mastermind is a group of peers who meet to give each other advice and support. It's reciprocal and literally a meeting of the minds. It's a place where you can speak the truth and receive it. A true mastermind is one in which you can let your hair down, discuss real issues, and know that everyone there has their best interests at heart. To support this, it's best not to have competitors from the same field. That can hamper open discussion and it can lead to hard feelings. Get ready to harness this power for yourself. Grab the reins to life and gallop toward massive success. Here's how to create a mastermind. Credit for the original mastermind, as I said, goes to Napoleon Hill, who wrote about it in his 1928 book, The Law of Success. In his book, Hill describes a mastermind as two words, master, mind. And he defines it as a mind developed through the harmonious cooperation of two or more people who ally themselves for the purpose of accomplishing any given task. While there have been many offshoots of masterminds, and you may have heard of some different kinds, I believe in going to the original source. I believe in the simplicity and the power of what Napoleon Hill created. The offshoot masterminds, what I actually think of as false masterminds, because they stray so far from the original, may charge fees, they may allow open registration to countless people. How in the world are you supposed to build trust with something like that? And they'll often have a guru, someone who knows more than everyone else and is really there as the only mastermind. You do you, but don't expect the same results from any of these offshoot type masterminds. Because the offshoots probably have created some confusion in people's minds about what a mastermind is, when you start your own, you'll want to do a level set with your group. I created a rules of engagement so everyone would be on the same page and there wouldn't be any question of what we were trying to accomplish. Make sure every prospective member understands and agrees to the rules and understands the importance of cohesion and cooperation. As Hill wrote, maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member of the mastermind group. If you fail to carry out this instruction to the letter, you may expect to meet with failure. The mastermind principle cannot work where perfect harmony does not exist. And you don't have to start with a whole group of people. In my very first mastermind, it was just me and this lovely woman named Holly who answered my plea that I put on LinkedIn. Someone saw my post saying I wanted to start a mastermind group and knew that Holly also did, so they connected Holly and me. We hadn't known each other before that point. So we started meeting weekly, and I would drive 30 minutes to her location near her work because she was on a really tight schedule and I had more flexibility. So every week I would drive 30 minutes. We would have a 1-hour session in a coffee shop. And it was the most juicy, fantastic discussion ever. We both grew by leaps and bounds. This went on for 5 months before one of us finally said, "Do you think we should invite other people?" So we did, and eventually the group grew so big that we had a waiting list. So you don't want the group to get too big, and I'll explain why in a bit. When you form a mastermind, someone has to lead it. Since I usually form my masterminds, I usually start the meeting. Don't be put off by having to lead a mastermind. You really serve primarily as a facilitator. Once the session gets rolling, it sort of self-perpetuates. Given that everyone knows the process and the rules of engagement, masterminds really run themselves. You'll just want to keep everyone on track and keep track of the time. The meeting format, also shown in the rules of engagement, is this. First, we start every meeting with a round of gratitude. One person starts and says something they're grateful for that occurred since we last met. For instance, my client closed on a new house. My partner loved my plans for the garden. This positive energy helps ground the group, and it's a great way to connect after a week apart. We then have check-in. Each person simply states whether they met their goals from the prior week, and there's no explanation and no excuses. Just, did you do what you committed to do or not? Examples are, I didn't meet my goals. I met my goals. Or, I met half my goals. That's the most anyone should share in this step. Just knowing that you committed to do something and will need to report in is the point, the accountability factor. And you would be surprised how much gets done the day before the meeting. Next, this is called Everybody Gets 7 minutes. Here's where members in turn share an issue or question and the group brainstorms for them. Now you know why limiting the group to 6 members makes sense. So 6 times 7 is 42, and that only leaves 18 minutes in the hour. Who goes first in this brainstorming thing is totally optional. So it's usually the person who has a burning desire to get a brainstorm. They have the most pressing issue. So here's an example. I'm trying to decide if I should hire the design for my website out or do it myself. Or, I'm wondering if the title of my course says what it needs to say. Once everyone has a chance to brainstorm, it's time for goal setting. What each member is going to commit to toward their progress before the next meeting. As leader, you may want to write these down and have them handy for the next session, because sometimes, frankly, people will forget what they committed to. But each member is accountable for remembering and committing to their own goals. Here's an example. I will dedicate 2 hours to my training program. Or, I will finally schedule that doctor's appointment. Or, I will create a mailing list of alternative healthcare clinics within a 10-mile radius. Usually, anyone who wants to join a mastermind has a passion about something. If they don't, they probably don't belong in a mastermind because it dilutes the energy. I mean, what are they going to be meeting every week about? What are they going to be asking for support for? So make sure that whoever is interested in the group, ask them what their goals are. They don't have to have a 45-page business plan, but they do have to have a plan that the mastermind group will help them with. So have you ever been part of a mastermind? And if so, how did it go? I'd really like to know. Please post in your comments. And if you haven't been and this inspired you to start your own and you have any questions, please let me know. Let's see, Wednesday we have Weigh-In Wednesday, and Friday we have How to Keep Your Tatas Happy. It's basically some bra hacks for keeping the girls happy all day long, and there's some that you've never heard of, so I hope you're able to join us. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell, it'll tell you when new videos post, but I am going to be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm here for you, sisters. Old age ain't for sissies, it's for sisters. See you next time.